Hey, you guys, welcome to another edition, I guess, of my live video. Real quick, well, I always say real quick, right? Never really turn out that way. But look here, what I want to talk about in this particular live video is dealing with bandit signs, right? And the importance of testimonials. So that's kind of what I really want to target this video for. Testimonials, dealing with your testimonials, and bandit signs. Now, I really don't speak a lot about bandit signs because that's one of my kept secrets that I normally talk about on a coaching call. But I want to touch on it a little bit. I won't go into too much detail for those that really want to know how I use this and use it in an effective way. You definitely can get me on a coaching for that. But I don't want to. I don't want you guys to leave that out as a uh, marketing method that you could use for your cleaning business to be successful in. Okay, I don't want you to leave that out at all. Is if it's used effectively, and depending on where you post those bandit signs. And what I'm talking about, guys, I'm not talking about the bandit signs that you handwrite yourself. Okay, and you staple to the light pole or you tape to the light pole. It looks very amateur like. It looks a lot of times pretty unprofessional to a certain degree, right? And especially when you handwrite it with a marker or a Sharpie or whatever the case is, right? That doesn't look really too professional. Now, if that's all you can afford to do, I guess by all means, give it a shot. But I would suggest you put a little thought in it, okay? I do agree that you probably should make those bandit signs short, sweet, but effective, okay? And the only way to make those bandit signs effective, you guys, is the messaging. It's what you say on there, right? You have to have a call to action, right? And you have to have a contact method, to contact you, your phone number, your website, your email, whatever the case is. Okay, now where you put those bandit signs. Now I'm going to talk specifically for the commercial side. If you want to know how I'm able to, I guess, collect a lot of residential accounts using bandit signs, I'll be more than happy to share that with you on a coaching call. So if you're interested in that, all you have to do is put residential bandit signs in subject and email me at bookfabiohart. Well, yeah, bookfabiohart@gmail.com, bookfabiohart@gmail.com, and I can go into detail on how I use it effectively and make it work for the residential side of things. But on this particular live, what I'm going to talk about specifically is just using it for the commercial side of things. Again, messaging is everything, just like on your flyers. A lot of people tell me, Fabio, my flyer's not working. They send me their flyers to say, how can I make this a better flyer? It's just being creative, your messaging, your color scheme, all of that come into the play, right? You might want to use a photo of your work, before and after photo, right, of your actual job. If you don't have any because you don't have any accounts and you never had any accounts, I would suggest to be creative in getting your photos, right? So I would resort to maybe Google, right? Finding an image, making it work that way. That'll get you in the door, okay? Because photos tell stories, right? Photos tell a lot of stories. And when people view those photos, whether you did the work or not, when they see that photo on your flyer with your call to action, your wording, everything, they're just going to automatically assume that you did this work, whether you did it or not. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs do that in many, industries, right? They borrow or steal or whatever, word you want to use someone else's work until they really get on and then they really make it pop, okay? Um, so I would say be creative in your way of approaching, like pictures and using images. Okay. Another thing I would suggest you not to do is don't use a local image, right? So if you're looking for cleaning businesses in your area and you're looking for before and after pictures of, let's say, somebody in Chicago, then I wouldn't suggest that you look for, if you're in Chicago, right, and you have a cleaning business in Chicago, I wouldn't suggest you use anybody a local image, right? Because they're in Chicago and they see it, they'll be like, hey, this is my image, you didn't do this work, that type of thing, right? So you can get images from, who knows, Portland, Maine, Boston, Massachusetts, any other place, right? Just to borrow, just to kind of get the ball rolling, so to speak. Because like I said, if you don't have any pictures because you didn't have any jobs, then you have to get creative to a certain degree. And every entrepreneur you name probably can share the story where they got creative with their marketing approach or with their methods and trying to, get a new client or trying to drum up business. Okay. But going back to the bandit signs, um, you want to put it in a high traffic area, but you want to put it in an area that's going to be catchy to whoever it is you're trying to market to, right? So like an office park, like if you have a bandit sign and you put it in like the entrance section of a office park facility, maybe they have a lot of different offices in this specific area in your area, right? Then you'll put it maybe in the turning, the main entrance. Stick it right there in the grass, right? Have a powerful message, maybe a before and after picture of your carpet cleaning job, of your window cleaning job, hell, of your commercial cleaning job, of your, well, I wouldn't say put residential right there because you're in a office district, you're in a business district. But yeah, you will want to put it right in the turning, like right in the main driveway of where all of the people turn in to go to their specific office, right? Um, Now the thing is you may or may not want to kind of get permission because sometimes people don't appreciate that. So if you put it in a private area on somebody's private property, whether it's commercial or residential, you might want to get some type of approval or figure out who you would talk to or see if it was okay to leave it there. Me, I like to put it close to the area, but not necessarily on somebody's property. Some maybe city property, right? Just some area where uh, the people that you need to see it, and it still doesn't. Uh, and it's still not posted on their property, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you still want to get those eyeballs because if they see it and they need a commercial cleaning company and your message is powerful, let's say you have a picture, again, you want to keep it short and condensed, guys, right? You don't want to have a long Bible verse type of situation on a bandit sign, right? Because they're driving, they're walking, you need to get something to catch them right off bat. That way that compels to pick up the phone and give you a call or email you or visit your website. Now, I would suggest also, how often do you put out bandit signs? Bandit signs as often as you want. Like if you like, they could get pretty expensive, right? So I would suggest if you're going to order them, you might want to order them from somebody locally where you can kind of go and see the type of work that they do, right? You want to get, the person that's gonna do it for you at the shop that they're, going to do it at. You want to talk to them. Have you done commercial cleaning signs before? Have you done residential signs before? If so, can I see, just your work? Can I see, what you've done? If they haven't, don't say, well, they haven't done it, so I'm not going to use them. You just be the first to use it, right? You let them know what it is the message you're trying to get out. You let them know the color schemes you're trying to use, right? You want something that catch the eyeballs quick, right? Something unique, something different. You can use pictures, much like how realtors do. They use a photo of themselves and, you know, we've sold $50 million worth of real estate. Woo woo woo. Interested in buying a house? Call me. My name is Amy Lou at 1-800 da 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 da. Then you got a picture of Amy Lou, right? So if somebody is looking to purchase a house and they see Amy Lou's sign and she said she sold over 50 million in real estate, right? Then that might be a reason for somebody to call. Well, she's selling a lot of real estate, so let me see what she have. So over $50 million worth of real estate, right? And she has a picture, that's always compelling. And a lot of realtors use that on their business card. I adapt that model with my business card too. I use a photo of myself. And that's just so they can remember me, whether I come into the building on a door-to-door situation or whether I just see somebody out in the public and they say, you know what, if somebody gave me their business card, they can identify me quickly. They'll remember me based on the photo, and they say, yeah, that's this is the guy, right? And then they'll go ahead and give me a call. Now, I won't say business cards is really effective, right? But that's something that you want to have on an ongoing basis. I would suggest that you have on an ongoing basis. Okay, it's not if you give out 100 business cards, you're gonna get, maybe 50 people that's gonna sign up for your service, right? For your cleaning service. That won't happen. But what it will do is create visibility, right? So when they are in the market for a commercial cleaning company, you may be the first that they think about because they remember your card. Your card was different. It was colorful. It was this. It was shaped of a whatever, right? A vacuum cleaner, whatever. So you had a unique style to your business card, which which they remembered. Okay. But to move back to the Bandit signs, and then I'm gonna get on with the testimonial part and on why it's important. The Bandit signs is something unique. Not a lot of cleaning companies do that, especially commercial. Now, a lot of residential do it. You might see on the sign, "We clean." Carpet cleaning companies, they might say something like, "We clean 4 rooms for $200. Call." We license, bonded, and insured. They always say that on there, and then they'll say call number 734 da 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 da, and they give their number out, or 1-800 or whatever, right? So, but you want to be different than that. A lot of times, when I see those signs, they handwritten, where it's just a white space, right? And then they hand write this stuff on there, and then they nail it to the light pole, or thumbtack it, or whatever, staple it, or tape it to the light pole. Once again, I don't like that way, but if that's what you have to do to get the word out in the beginning, cool, give it a shot. It may or may not work, but I like the professional side of it, right? I just think it create a better buzz, when you have a professional sign out, a professional Bandit sign, and you want to do both sides, you guys, because you don't know where the traffic is coming from. If it's going westbound and eastbound, you want both sides to see it. You don't want to just put a message on the right side or put a message on the left side of the sign, right? You want to do both sides of the sign, okay? And the same message, by the way, because again, you want to catch traffic from both ways, and you want them to see that sign, okay? As far as how often you should put them out, again, there's no certain time. You do want to space them out, right? You don't want to put 15 signs in the same vicinity of each other. You don't want to crowd that space like that. Okay, you want to spread them out. All right. Pick a west side of your city. Start if you live, let's say, west in your city, then you can start west and just put them out, sprinkle them out throughout the west. Again, Bandit signs can get expensive. I would suggest you maybe start off with 5 or 10, right, and see what type of traction that give you. Okay, now just because it don't work, just because you don't get a response back off of the first 10 that you put out, don't mean it doesn't work, or don't mean your message don't work. It's much like how a commercial goes. Like when we see them advertising a special pizza, right, or McDonald's got a newer version of Big Mac, or whatever the case is, right? When they order it, we don't generally go out and purchase it the first time we see the commercial. But through repetition, meaning ongoing advertising, it compels us at some point to go out and give that burger a try. So this is the same thing that I'm saying here. When you put the Bandit signs out, you might say, well, Fabi, I'm geeked up about this. I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is something new. I don't see a lot of people doing it in my area. Fabio said it could work. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. And then you go ahead and give it a shot, and then you don't get the response that you want. Again, they have to be out, frequent. You have to keep them out. Now, I will tell you, a lot of times what can happen too is haters, competition, just people that don't want to see you prosper overall could actually destroy your signs, destroy them. So you might want to kind of drive back through, wherever you post those signs and just see if they still post it, right? If they're still up, if they're still, visible, or have they been knocked down, perhaps by weather conditions and storms and fast winds, or are they missing? Like, have somebody taken them? That could happen sometimes. So you do want to again double back to see, how the sign look after you post it, maybe after a week or so, right? Check on it weekly, kind of make your rounds, put some new ones out, right? Every so often you could change the message in it, right? So and have, in other words, have new signs printed up, and just to kind of keep your name out there in the forefront. So again, you want to have a compelling message. You want to have a contact number or a way to be contacted. And you want to have a powerful USP. You want to have something that compels them to pick up the phone and say, you know what, I'm going to give this company a call. I've seen their sign. I'm going to go ahead and give them a call. Okay. Now, moving right along to testimonials. Guys, if you have cleaning contracts already and you have yet asked them for testimonials, let's say you've been with them for 3 months, 6 months, and they haven't had, really to no complaints of your service. You've been banging it out. You've been showing up. You haven't been having no problems. This might be around the time that you might want to suggest. You might want to get referrals or just testimonials on how they feel about your company. And you can usually do that via email, so that way they can email them back, to you how they feel. And then you can use those specific testimonials on your marketing material. You ask them, is it okay if you do that? Again, you don't want to put like the whole name. You might put like C. Smith of ABC Dental says this, and then put what that person said, on your material, instead of putting Christopher Smith, right? You put, C. Smith of ABC Dental says this, that, and the third about whatever, whatever service you're offering, carpet cleaning, gutter cleaning, whatever cleaning you're doing, general cleaning, right? So don't be afraid to ask for, referrals for one, and testimonials. If you're not going to ask, yo, bro, how is your business? My business is doing okay. We actually lost a couple of accounts not too long ago, and we picked one. So, but besides that, for the most part, my company's definitely profitable, and we're moving right along. It's good. How is your company? How is your business? But like I said, you guys definitely want to ask for testimonials. Okay, don't be shy to do that. If they're not going to give you a reference, at least get a testimonial. And it's a difference, a reference, where they refer other companies or give you contact information to other companies that they're affiliated with, that you can solicit for new business, okay, based on the referral, the person that they referred you, okay. But if they're not going to give you that, or they just don't have any referrals, ask them for a testimonial. Again, stories tell. Okay, so when people say good things about your company and say good things about your business, you may want to share that. You want to get that out in the atmosphere, okay? Because if people don't know it exists, if people don't know that people are speaking good about your company, then, you could be climbing an uphill battle, especially when you're utilizing the phones and you're door to door, right? You can pull that stuff out right at door to door. Like, I tell you guys to have, how did you know the cleaning products are used in the very beginning? Okay, hold on. Let me read what Kevin Sharp, is it Sharp? Kevin Sharp. He says, how did you know what cleaning products are used in the very beginning? I didn't. And due to my lack of knowledge, I just used what I thought I should use, which was all-purpose cleaner, anything that I could find from the dollar store. I was more into making the place smell good, because I felt like if they smell this minty fresh place, or they smell this lemon fresh place, the assumption is when you smell like Fabuloso, when you smell these cleaner products, whether somebody cleaned the hell out of something or they didn't, the fact that you smell that, the assumption is, wow, it smells really fresh in here, really clean in here. And you may not have put as much work in. You may not have cleaned as thoroughly as that person may thought you have cleaned, right? But the fact that they smell it, the assumption is that you clean, you clean the heck out of the place. So that's what I used in the very beginning, because that's all I was able to afford. But if you are able to afford professional products, professional cleaning solutions and products, then I would advise you to use those things. Again, in the very beginning, I utilized like Family Dollar, the dollar store, Home Depot, right? I utilized those places in the very beginning again because, I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of money to work with, and I just wanted to get started. So I didn't let the fact that I had the lack of professional products deter me from getting started, if that makes sense. Let me see part two of what you asked me. Did you ever lose a contract because you're using bad products? No, I never lost a contract because using those products. But what happened was I have been in a situation where people made specific requests for certain products. And more or less it's usually green products, especially in the health industry or the healthcare industry or the medical industry. They'll ask you, to do away with more or less synthetic products and get more organic products or more green, clean products. A lot of times they'll ask you to use those products, and that's fine. You just go ahead and use those products. But once again, at the end of the day, you make sure that they're the ones that's paying for it. You can get it for them, but you want to charge them when you go to do your billing. You want to charge it to them, okay? Because I do believe that the customer should be the one that's paying for the products, okay? Even if you get them, whether they supply them or whether you supply them, I do feel like they should be the ones that's paying for those products, okay? So if they actually use an all green product or a green clean product, just ask them, or organic product, ask them if they had any specific ones in mind that they would like for you to use. If they say no, then you can, talk to, like the janitor supply house or store in your area. Ask them what's the best sellers, ask them which one they would suggest, you to use just starting out, that type of thing. Or you can find green, clean products at like Home Depot and some, you know, stores like a dollar store, that type of, it's a cheaper way, and it may not necessarily be as effective as those professional products, but it will work in the very beginning. If you see that it's not being it's not working to your liking, it's not doing the type of clean that you want it to do, then you may have no choice but to go get it more concentrated, where where you can blend it with water, more concentrated product, from maybe a office, a janitor supply house or a janitor supply store. Okay. um, Let me see. It's coming along after 5 months and picking up clients. Still haven't got no private accounts yet. Um, no private accounts. So are you a franchise? I'm not sure. It's been some time, dude, since I talked to you on here. So kind of refreshing me a little bit. So are you a franchise and you just haven't got any private accounts like on your own for your own business? Am I understanding that correctly? Hey, Leo. Leo say, "What's up, Fabio? How much money you think I could save for starting this business?" You say, "How much money do I think you can save up for starting the business?" To be honest, Leo, like I've said in other videos, it doesn't take a lot of money to start this business, actually. It just takes more sweat equity to start this business. Me, I started the business with 200 bucks, right? And that's when I ordered this course way back in 2012. I ordered this course, cost me about 200 bucks and some change. But to really pick up the accounts and stuff like that, it just took sweat equity. It just took me going door to door, trading my time, you know, like just sweat equity, right? I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of money to throw at the board at the time. So I picked up the phones and I went door to door, and that's how I got my first account. Okay, so it will take time, okay, but if you stay at it, you will eventually pick up an account. Okay, you will eventually pick up an account. You definitely have to stay at it though. Um, that's what I would suggest you do in the very beginning. But if you're just the type that you just want to, 1 second, Kevin, I see you. If you're the type that you just want to save up and say, you know what, I want to have a significant amount of money saved, I would suggest maybe $1,000 because it doesn't take a whole hell of a lot. Anywhere from 500 to $1,000. It's not about how much money you have to start with. It's about what you do with the money that you have to start with. See, if I had $1,000, I wouldn't even come close to blowing half of it to start the business because I would be more more concerned about getting, you know, sweat equity, putting in sweat equity, knowing that that's how I would ultimately get my new contracts, right? But you know, I would say if you're going to throw money at something, you know, marketing wise, you're probably going to utilize it more on envelopes and stamps and production of flyers and putting flyers together and sending, you know, mailers out, that type of thing, because that'll take quite a bit of money. But outside of that, like I say, if you just use sweat equity, door to door, picking up the phones, it's going to take a lot of door knocking and a lot of phone calling, but eventually you will get a contract. Okay, let me see here. Kevin said, this is random, but I bought a Dirt Devil to start off, and it was pretty worthless. On my client carpet. Can you recommend a cheap vacuum? You're welcome, Leo. I would actually say a Dirt Devil. Okay? It's lightweight. It's proven right for me. Okay, but what I would do, I can email you like a list. I'll email you a list of different ones that won't tear your pockets up, that you could use besides the Dirt Devil. Now, the ones I may email you may be a little bit more pricier than the Dirt Devil, but they're not too expensive. You're not looking at hundreds of dollars or $250 or, you know, $199, that type of thing. You might be like $105, you know, that type of thing, 110, if I'm being realistic. But I will give you other backs I think that you could use. But I have a whole storage full of Dirt Devils, and it works okay for my. Some people would tell you to use the backpack backs or the backpack backs, right? So I think that's just a fancier way to do it. At the end of the day, the client is usually not around, you know, especially if you're just doing evening cleaning, that type of thing after everybody go home. So whether you use a backpack back or a Dirt Devil, you got the job done. No one knows what you really used. I mean, they can come in and tell that it's been clean, but they don't know you used the backpack or if you used the Dirt Devil, right? But like I say, Kevin, I will email you, and if I don't do it in a timely fashion, just email me like, hey, Fabio, what's up with that list of backs, and I'll send it to you, okay? But actually, I use the Dirt Devil. It's been working quite well for me, okay? That's what I started out with, and that's what my employees still use to this day. Okay. And another thing, when it comes to those vacs and products, a lot of times people would suggest you use higher products or very expensive products because they're like, man, this is my image. This is my image. What cleaning products or supplier? Cleaning products or suppliers do you? We use a whole array different. Some buildings we use certain products, other buildings we use other products. because some buildings have requested products that they want us to use. So we go and get those products and we use those specific products. Okay. Suppliers, you can find suppliers everywhere, whether it's local, which is what I suggest you look for in the very beginning, like a local supplier where you can just go and pick things up, or um, Leo said Ajax, or you could, get a maybe an out of state supplier where it could be shipped to your home or your storage facility or warehouse, wherever you have things shipped to, right? Um, but like I said, I do think that you should use professional cleaning products because it's a good look. But when you do your walkthrough, before you check out to go and draw up your estimate, I would just ask them, is there any certain cleaning products that you would like your cleaners to use or that you would like for us to use? And let them tell you, yes, we would prefer you use Ajax, for an example, right? And then that way okay, this company wants us to use Ajax. If they say, no, we don't have a certain product that we would want you guys to use, we do want you guys to use a green product or green clean type of product. Okay, now specific that they want you to use a green clean type of product. So all you have to do is go to your local janitor supply house or just Google, green clean or green cleaning, all-purpose cleaner, whatever the case is, and you just try different things, right? Some people have their favorites. Like if you ask 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 people here on YouTube, you might get 5, 10, 15 different answers on products that they suggest that you get, and that's 9 times out of 10 because they probably use that product themselves. So they really like that product, so they're biased to that product. Me, again, we have a warehouse full of different stuff, right? So, but I could also email you some great products to start off with from a professional side if you're using just over-the-counter stuff that you get from the dollar store. And if they haven't complained or no one actually said anything bad about those products, be it smell or just whatever, then I think you're okay for right now. But at the end of the day, like I said, you do want to kind of upgrade to a more professional stamp type of product. Okay, let me see here. If you guys just joining me, and I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Please just like, share, and subscribe if you're just joining me. What I was talking about on this particular video is using Bandit signs and how I think you guys should use them. And I was also talking about testimonials and getting references, okay, or referrals, I should say. Like I said early on, if you guys haven't used the Bandit sign technique, I would suggest that you use it both for residential and commercial. I explained earlier that you will want to kind of put it, especially for a commercial Bandit sign, you will want to put it in a commercial district, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be on people's property or on the company property. You can try it, but if you drive back around and you see it missing or someone taking it, a lot of times it could have been the actual building themselves. They just didn't want it stuck in their grass, right? But if you find a place that's more like that's city owned, that type of thing, you can try doing that. Try whatever works, okay? And you won't know what worked really until you just try it, okay? So I would just give it a shot. That's a way that I think you guys could drum up business. You just have a powerful message on there, a call to action, your telephone number. Like I said, you want to have a unique situation. You might want to use pictures, before and after pictures, so people know, okay, this is how the carpet was cleaned. This is how the carpet looked before I cleaned it. This is how the carpet looked after I cleaned it. Or this is how the building looked before I cleaned it. This is how the facility looked after I cleaned it. Okay, so you guys want to, you do want to use Bandit signs. I think it's a good approach. It's not a common approach, but I do think it's a good approach that you could use. Okay. Also, as I always tell you guys, before you go out and market your cleaning business, Make sure you have your paperwork down to a science. And it really don't even have to be down to a science, but make sure you have pretty decent paperwork in terms of contract, non-compete, non-disclosure, your invoices. Make sure you have those documents ready. Okay, your estimate breakdown. If you don't have one, you can kind of create one, that type of thing. But make sure you have your documents created and you have them ready to go, because you never know when somebody is going to ask you to submit a bid. Okay, so if you don't have a bid outline or a bid spreadsheet or a bid write-up form, a proposal form to write up your proposal or your bid, your estimate. How do you like using social media? Social media, to be honest, I really don't use social media. Okay, I just haven't found it to be effective for my cleaning business. It doesn't mean that it won't be effective for you. I like to tell people use all methods. As you always often hear me say, run your business like a presidential campaign. That's included, but I just haven't found that specific thing to be effective for me. Most of the people that call me that I haven't reached out to in the very beginning, generally speaking, they come off a referral. Okay, where I'm cleaning somebody else's building or cleaning someone else's home, and they refer this person to me. So that's how I get a lot of that word of mouth type of business. Okay, so but if you want to give Facebook a try, you want to buy Facebook ads, Google ads, that type of thing, give it a shot. Give it a shot. It might work for you. Okay, so don't let me talk you out of it. It's just I haven't found it to work for me, and I haven't been aggressive with my approach on social media marketing in terms of my commercial cleaning business. Now, what I have found using Facebook advertising is that residential works really, really well with Facebook advertising. Again, it's going to take being repetition or repetitious, but it will work at the end of the day. And it also works for carpet cleaning companies too. Like if you're doing carpet cleaning jobs, that type of thing, and you use sponsor ads or Facebook advertising, I have found it to work quite well. You guys have any more questions before I let this go? I just wanted to tap in with you. But like I said, I would say the main thing that you will want to look out for is getting those testimonies, trying the Bandit signs again, because a lot of people don't use them, right? So just because a lot of people don't use them don't mean they don't work or don't mean they can't work. You just have to be the first in your area to give it a shot. Testimonials is very important, okay? If you can get somebody to give you referrals, sounds good, thanks. Not a problem. If you can get somebody to give you referrals in terms of your current client, your present clients, then I would suggest that you try to get referrals. That way you can kind of lean on that relationship that you have with your present client going into the next client, okay, or going into the person that they referred you to or the company that they referred you to, okay. If you can't get any references or they don't want to give you out any references, at the very least, get a testimonial based on what they feel about your cleaning, your service as a whole, your company, that thing, because see, stories tell, okay, and it's nothing like a legitimate story. So if they're giving you reasonable testimonials, you can have them email them to you. You can provide them like some type of template, that they can kind of fill out and give you a testimonial based on how they feel about your service, right? You can use that on your marketing material, okay? Thanks again, Fabio, for doing these videos. Stay positive, get positive. Whoop, whoop. Thank you, Leo. Thank you so much, man. Again, you guys are the reason that I do it. I want to see you guys prosper. I try to come up with unique things to kind of talk about. I try to share different things that I'm trying. If it's a winner, I damn sure would share it with you. If I'm not having a great success, I tend to still want to share it with you, because just because it might not work for me don't mean it might not work for you. But I'll be the first to tell you if something's not working for me, and you know why it is that you probably still should try something. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I really want you guys to win. Just know that being motivated, being aggressive with your approach, being aggressive with your ability to market, not allowing the naysayers to get in the way, that all of this stuff is going to be a determining factor. Okay? All of this stuff is going to be, and it's so easy, so easy to get distracted, you guys. You can't allow yourself to get distracted if you really want to be successful in any business. Not just cleaning, but any business. Can't allow yourself to get distracted. Okay? When people try to come between your space and people try to tell you what to do and why you should do every single day, marketing wise, whether you're using the phones, I don't care if you make 100 calls and you don't get one response, you still have to keep doing it, right? If you're going door to door and you knock 50 to 70 doors one day and you didn't get the response that you want, you still have to keep doing it. It's very, very important. Okay? And that's really, to be honest, man, that's the only way your business is going to grow, by staying active, staying aggressive, you know, changing up your marketing approach, you know, adding to your marketing approach. Okay? Do you guys have any questions for me? Anything specific? Okay? Again, I talk a lot about the paperwork on every video, because it's very, very important that you have that. You want to, and it doesn't have to be Mr. Professional or Mrs. Professional. In the very beginning, if you got generic paperwork, you can start with that, right? Start with that, see, but ultimately, your ultimate goal is to upgrade and have a more stable and more professional type of paperwork when you're offering it to the people. But you have to do what you have to do in the very beginning, okay? Don't get discouraged by the hang-ups on the phones. I get tons of people hang up on us all the time. Don't get get discouraged by the lack of yeses you're going to get when you go door to door, and there's going to be a lot of them. But sure, it's going to be a lot of no's, there's going to be a lot of yeses, okay? But that will only happen to those who prevail, for those who stay in the game long enough, for those who's excited long enough to make it happen. Then you'll hear those yeses that you want to hear. Other than that, you know, you kind of cutting yourself short by giving up. Okay. You guys have any more questions? Have any more questions? Anything else that we can answer? If you guys have anything you want to talk to me about, just email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com. bookfabiohart@gmail.com. If you need to talk to me about something, then you want to add your phone number when you email me, your name and phone number. Is there a list of paperwork that we should have? Yeah, man. Well, definitely, first and foremost, you want to have invoices, right? And you want to have pretty professional looking invoices, okay? You want to have a non-compete. You want to have a non-disclosure agreement. I found out very fast that these two documents were important to have for your cleaning business. You also want to have a great proposal sheet, or proposal outline sheet, estimate sheet, I call it sometimes. An estimate breakdown sheet that's more like for your pricing, what you would charge. You don't necessarily need that, but if you don't have a grip on what to charge, you might want to sort that out. You might want to have that, right? But if you got a pretty good way on setup on how you structure, you know, what you're going to charge your client, that type of thing, then I guess you could be okay without that. But I would suggest that you have that to kind of help you with your numbers and pinpoint how much you should charge, right? As some type of guideline. Another thing that you will want to have ultimately is your service agreement, or many will call a contract. I like to call it agreement. So you want to have a pretty good service agreement, okay? Another thing is a checklist, okay? You want to have checklists. You want to have a company with your estimate, and perhaps even your agreement as just It's just an extra Why do you want to have the checklist with your proposal or with your estimate? Because this is a way to show them that this is why you're charging what you're going to charge based on what you learned in a walkthrough. After you did your walkthrough, they say, we need this done, we need that done, we need this done. Hey, Carmina, we need this done and that done, right? You have a checklist, and then you kind of check it off, right? And you can always refer back to it later. So for an example, the Fluent one, if you put in an estimate, right, and they accept your estimate and say, okay, great, we want to pick you guys up. Awesome. Okay, so now you have this checklist. So now you get to clean in 2 months and 3 months in. They say, oh, you're not doing this and you're not doing that. You can say, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson or Mrs. Johnson or Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith. That wasn't written up and that wasn't part of the checklist. So that's why my employee wasn't doing it, right? And after every detailed cleaning, you want to make sure everything is checked off on the checklist, is signed by you. And perhaps if you can get a signature from your contact person, you want to get a signature from the contact person. That's just signing off and dating, letting both parties know, your company, or you and them, know that, okay, we both seen this checklist and everything that was supposed to be completed was completed. It was done after each night or after each service visit. Okay, so that's why that checklist is important. So it's like a twofold for that checklist. You can use it in the beginning and use it as an attachment piece to your agreement or to your estimate or proposal, right? Because again, this is what we talked about when we did the walkthrough. So you want to be able to magnify that by having that checklist. So when you turn your numbers in along with the checklist, they can get a pretty good idea why you charge what you charge. Okay, and you're gonna have it all checked off, signed, and dated. Okay, and you make sure they sign and date it. And this is in the very, very beginning. In case you ever have to refer back to it later, you can say, well, Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith, we had a checklist that you signed and you dated in the very beginning. You might want to visit that. Okay, so you can give them a copy of it and you keep the master copy. The same thing with the agreement. You give them a copy of the agreement, you keep the master copy, or the original copy, I should say. Same thing with the estimate. Unless it's kind of computerized. If you put it in via computer, you know, with your computer, then you just print off, you know, 2 copies of it, right? And they sign off on that, you know, make sure they're okay with it, everything is good. You get a copy of that, they get a copy of that, okay? And like I say, you want to do it that way. That way, they can't say that you're not doing something that you're supposed to be doing or whatever the case is. We can always refer back to the agreement, if must be. We can always refer back to the checklist, if must be. And we can always refer back to the estimate, the original estimate that we put in, if must. I'm sorry, guys. It's a phone call come through. So that's why you will want to do it the way that you're doing it. That the way that I say to do it, because I think it'll look very, very good on your end, and you won't get caught up in no, well, you're supposed to do this, you didn't do this, you're supposed to do that, you didn't do that, right? Everything is kind of lined up based on what the paperwork say that they signed and dated on all of the paperwork. Okay. Hello. Hey, I'm in the middle of a YouTube video. Let me call you right back. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's why you will have those documents signed and dated, because I think, once again, I think it's in your favor. Nothing is worse than, oh, you're supposed to do this, we're going to let you guys go, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, and then you don't have any proof that you weren't supposed to do that. Or the assumption is, well, you guys are the cleaners, right? You know, they'll hit you with that often, or a lot. You guys are the cleaners, right? You didn't clean, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. I thought that was part of the clean. No, you can't think that that was part of the cleaning if we wrote it up this way, right? Which is why my agreement state that, and anybody that purchased my agreement already See, people call me Fabio. This is thorough. This is thorough, and and not to brag or bring my agreement up, but I think it's powerful. I think it's powerful to have that in the agreement too, because see, we provide a checklist, but I also have those detailed type things in the agreement, right? So that's powerful, you know. And of course, they're gonna sign and date it. And I'm going to sign and date it, so their way is no mix up. Okay, so if the client started adding more duties to the checklist, can we increase the price? You should increase the price. You say, well, sorry, well, Miss Smith, I understand that this is important to you. This is not what you originally wanted us to do, or it wasn't signed up for us to do. We can't complete the task, but we're gonna have to revisit the agreement. We're gonna have to revisit the estimate that I originally gave you. Okay, and the reason being, Miss Smith or Mr. Smith, is that it's gonna take us a longer time. So obviously speaking, the longer it takes for us to clean it, the more they should pay you to do it, right? Now, if it's something as petty as an extra trash bag, you know, maybe you're not supposed to clean this room. They don't want you to touch this room because it's certain places like that. They say, well, and you look in there, you're like, damn, this room need to be clean, but they may not want you in there for whatever reason. But they may say, well, can you guys just dump the trash out of here? That's all you have to do in here. Will handle the rest of it. Can you just dump the trash and put new liners in the bag in the can? Then that's petty, you know, to want to revisit for that. But because it doesn't really take that much, I would consider that going the extra mile, right? Just being, you know, it wasn't written up for us to touch this room, but now they're wanting us to dump the trash. Just go ahead and dump the trash, right? You're doing the trash anyway, right? You're dumping trash, you're putting new liners in. Just go ahead and take care of the whole facility. Just go ahead and do that, right? But if they absolutely say we don't want you in the room, don't say, well, you know what, Fabio said go the extra mile, so I'm gonna dump it anyway, because then the problem could come about where they say we don't want you in this room, you don't have to be in this room, and then you go in there and dump the trash, and they notice the trash is dumped in there, and then they say this is missing, that's missing, this is effed up, that's effed up, somebody knocked over this, somebody touched that, right? Now if you don't go in the room like the axe, then they can't say that. But if they say, well, you guys haven't been dumping the trash in this room, then you could let them know, I'm sorry, you know, you guys said not to touch that room, so we don't go in it, but we can handle that for you, you know, Mr. Smith, if that's a problem, or if, you know, if that's something that concerns you, we could definitely handle that for you. Yes, go ahead. I want you guys to, you know, dump this trash in this room, okay? So, you know, you want to kind of follow things to the T, because again, if something get messed up, guess who's going to be the first one they come after? The cleaning crew. As long as everything going great, they're going to love you. They, you know, won't have anything bad to say about you. But the minute something get effed up, and the cleaning crew is always, generally speaking, one of the first ones to blame. If it's not the security crew, I'm sorry, yeah, the security crew. If it's not the security crew, it's the cleaning crew. Or vice versa. If it's not the cleaning crew, it's the security crew, which is whatever security company service that they have, you know, overlooking the facility while they're not there or whatever the case is. So it's just generally one or the other. That's been my experience. If we don't get blamed, the security company that they have there get blamed. If the security company don't get blamed, we get blamed. Okay? But again, if you follow things to the T, you're dealing with the checklist. They want to add more things on or pile up some things. Now, if they're piling up things, you know, and they want more things done, or they want you to, you know, start sweeping the parking lot area, or you can handle that if you want to handle that task. Now, you know, if they say do trash pickup in the parking lot area, that's part of the cleaning, you guys should do that. You say, great, Mr. Smith, no problem, Miss Johnson. We can definitely get that done. We will have to revisit our original estimate, okay? Because once again, that's going to be time constrained, right? That's going to be a time situation, right? It's going to take you more time to get the job done in this facility. So you need to revisit your estimate, okay? Now, I'm not saying drive the price through the roof, but you should get paid more because you're doing more and it's taking more time to do it. So hopefully you guys understand me. But if it's something petty, sometimes they'll ask you, they'll say, well, you guys didn't do what you were supposed to do because you're supposed to clean the dishes. Now, I've talked to people that say, you know what, Fabio, I just went on and cleaned it and washed the dishes. I do think I should charge more for that, but I say, what the hell? I got the contract. They pay me pretty good. I just, said, we'll go ahead and take care of it. You will have certain accounts like that where you like them, where it's not a problem. You say, you know what, I'm not going to charge them extra for the dishes. I'll just go ahead and wash the dishes and put them up and that type of thing, right? But some people will say, hey, I should get paid more for doing the dishes because it's taking more time. So go with your own judgment, your own assessment, however you assess that situation, okay? But like I say, if it's something about dumping a trash liner, doing something just so minute, so small, then go ahead and do it, guys. Don't make a big woof about it, okay? You guys have any more questions for me? Guys have any more questions for me? Again, do you guys understand what I was talking about with the bandit signs earlier and with getting the testimonials and how important that is? I want to make sure we have a clear understanding about that. Do you understand that? You guys understand that? What I was saying about the and another thing. Okay, here's the thing, guy. I think I spoke about this some time ago. When you guys clean in a rush, what are bandit signs? Bandit signs are something that, those are those signs with the wire, right? They got the signage on them. Like what you see on the presidential campaign. They say vote for Barack Obama. And they stick it in the grass. That's a bandit sign, right? Or if you're, vote for governor such and such, and they got those signs there with the metal rods and the signage is all on top of it. You stick it in the ground. In the ground, that's what's considered a bandit sign. Okay, or a bandit sign, you might sometimes see it stapled to a light pole or taped to the light pole, or they might have it. What they call that strip? I can't think of it, but sometimes you see it, stuck on a light pole. That's considered a bandit sign too. So it's just the ones without the wire, where it's stuck in the ground, where they post it up on the stop sign or the tree or whatever the case is, right? That's a bandit sign. But you guys have any more questions? I do want to make sure that I cover them. By the way, if you don't want to ask your question right here on their live, you can always hit me on bookfabiohart@gmail.com, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Jasmine will get all the questions over to me. If you need to talk to me personally, make sure you leave your name and your telephone number in that email. And I will personally call you back and talk about the matter one-on-one. So that's just so you guys know. But meanwhile, do you guys have any more questions? I'm here. Let me try to think of something that I can cover. I think somebody asked me too. I'm sorry, I don't remember who. If I had to start my business all over, would I go the same route that I went when I started? Actually speaking, no, I probably wouldn't. I started off with commercial. I have almost everything done. I'll call you soon. Okay, okay. Yep. you just hit me on the email, book Fabio Hart, BookFabioHart at gmail.com. Carmina, you leave your telephone number there, and I'll phone you, and we could talk about whatever your matter is or whatever the case is, okay? But going back to the residential thing, I'm sorry, going back to the question, somebody asked me if I was to start all over, would I do it the same way? I probably wouldn't. I would go the residential route, believe it or not, because I think getting house jobs or residential jobs are a lot easier to get than commercial. But I think the longevity with commercial lasts longer than residential. And here's why. And people ask me all the time, why do I do commercial more than residential? I just don't think that I'm sorry, residential payout, uh, number one, as much as commercial does, and I don't like the less frequency because the more I can get in a building, the more I can charge for being in that building. Generally speaking, when you're doing residential jobs, they're generally once a week or twice a week, from what I find. Okay, you very rarely, unless you're dealing with some multi-billionaire and millionaire that just want to make up work. He got a mansion. He wants you there every single day, just to pick up every little spill, every little thing that goes on. You're almost a live-in his mansion or something like that, or her mansion. Then that's something totally different. Okay, that's something totally different. Like if you're working for an NBA star or a rapper or some movie star, hell, you might have your own room in their mansion because they need your service around the clock, right? So you're always kind of there, that type of thing. Okay, that's different. But outside of that, normally speaking, your job is probably going to be once a week or twice a week. Uh, Twice being on the high side. It's very rare that I found that you're going to clean every single day or you're going to have a 4 day, 5 day a week job doing residential cleaning. But you can have that in commercial, right? And the same thing with commercial. You can have a once a week account, a twice a week account, that type of thing. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying generally speaking, I feel you can charge more and you can make more on the commercial side of things, which is why I promote it so much here on my YouTube channel. We do uh, residential cleaning. I do get residential cleaning jobs, but our main bread and butter is the commercial side of things. But if you want to know how I utilize the bandit signs with residential, I'm sorry guys, with residential, then you will have to get me on the coaching. That's $100 an hour. Just put residential bandit signs, or yeah, put residential bandit sign in the subject and email me, right? I'll get back with you, right away, or my assistant will let me know, and I'll be able to call you right away. If you get on a coaching, like I said, I'll be able to describe how that works magnificently. Magnificently. I explain how that works, okay, and how you can utilize that and really make it work and really hit a lot of home runs in terms of picking up new contracts with your bandit signs for residential. I explained the commercial side on this live already, so if you missed it, you might want to watch the top of the live where I kind of went off into it. But outside of that, if you want to know how I utilize it with the residential side, you will have to get me on the coaching because it's gonna work like clockwork. It's so freaking easy. Once I explain it to you, I'm like, oh shit, I could do that, right? But anyway, that's on the coaching. The coaching is $100 an hour. You probably only need an hour with me, just to be honest with you. I can cover a lot in an hour. Um, but if you need coaching, just type coaching in the subject line, right? You already know how much it is, $100 if you're interested. If you're not, that's fine. If you have a few questions or whatnot, and you want me to kind of tap into that with you, then you can also still email me. Just drop your name and number. I'll give you a call back. If you got any paperwork you want me to take a look at, I'll take a look at it, thorough look at it. I'll let you know what I would suggest you change, what I think you should add, what you could take out, that type of thing with your paperwork. If you got just standard generic type of paperwork. Let me see what else. That's about it. But if you guys have it, you have any questions, guys? I want to make sure I cover everything before I cut you loose. Sorry for the glare of the sun coming through the window, so you probably see it on my face here. Um, guys have any specific questions? You guys have any deals that you're struggling with? I can help you on that too. Just put in the subject line, just put commercial cleaning contract, help, okay, or help with contract, okay, and I can help you close that. I've been pretty much hitting some home runs. I know Kevin on here, I gave him a few pointers, and he actually picked up his contract. I don't know if he's still watching me, but he emailed me thanking me, giving me props. Tyreek, it's a lot of people, you know. So I do pretty good in terms of giving good suggestions. I don't always win everything, but I would try my damnedest to help you get in that first contract, because I personally believe when you get that first contract, that restore the faith within yourself that you can actually do this business, right? When I got my first contract, I knew that I can get a second contract. When I got that second, I knew I can get a third, a fourth, a fifth. I knew I was on to something once I got that first contract. And I want to shout out a lot of my people that I spoke to. I can't remember her name. She's normally on my live. What's her name? I want to say it's Bria. But anyway, man, she watched this stuff and she's been cleaning up. Like, she's really been cleaning up on getting contracts. I want to say it's Bria or Bree. She'll know who she is when she see this. But yeah, she's been cleaning up on contracts. Share Pop is another one, getting contracts, just watching my videos. So I really like to see those stories. If you guys getting contracts, if I help you get a contract, again, I never ask you for anything on the back end. I just kind of do it out of the kindness of my heart, just to help you guys get in the door. Um, just let me know when you guys get them, though. If you got your first contract, if you're on contract number 10, just kind of keep me updated, because I like to hear those stories where you guys went from not having no contracts to having contracts. Okay. Uh, if you're still in the midst of my lead generation program or anything like that, for those people that's still going in that, again, as you know, I don't offer that, but for there are people that still in. If you're getting picking up contracts that way, let me know. I like to hear the stories about that. If you're using like my flyers, my paperwork, for people that bought paperwork from me, email me, let me know, you know, how it's working out for you. I like to hear the feedback, guys. I feed off of that. You know, I actually kind of pop my collar to that, right? As they like to say. I really enjoy hearing those stories. Email me, Carmina. I'll definitely phone you. We'll talk. Okay. Um, but I love hearing those stories where you guys say, man, I didn't have a contract and I used your contract, and the lady said my contract was so professional. I had one guy say, hey, I didn't have a contract, I bought your contract. They asked me if I was a franchise, right? So I love hearing these stories. And whether you haven't bought anything from me and you just use my videos, I got one guy, he didn't order anything from me. He was already using my videos, and he started making $6,000, right? And then I think he went into the lead generation, and we got him up. He's up 11, I think 11,000 now in contracts, because he's in those leads, and he's currently in the program now. But like I said, man, it's a beautiful. I like to hear the feedback. If it's something that's not working on you with you guys, or I gave you something and it didn't quite work, let me know, and I maybe, you know, for your situation, I probably can suggest you another way to go. Okay. Again, I love my subscribers. Without you guys, this it wouldn't be a channel here, you know, or I would just be talking to myself, right? But I love to hear the feedback. I love when you guys winning, as you guys know, I never ask any of the subscribers for anything on the back end. You have other people. I'm hearing that there's other people out here that does kind of what I do. They watch my videos and they kind of implement it, but they ask for stuff on the back end. You know, like, well, I can help you get a contract, and you got to give me 5% of monthly revenue. That sounds kind of franchisey to me, but you know, do it, right? Me, you get in, you know, owe me 5%, 10%, 1%, you know, owe me anything once I help you get in there. If you have a flyer, let me take a look at your flyer, guys. Again, I'm not a mastermind. I don't know all the answers, but I got a pretty good grasp on what's working and what's not working, or where you might want to change this or take that out, or change the color scheme and this, make it this color because it'll pop more, that type of thing. Just let me take a look at it, and you know, and if you got a good flyer, you got a good contract or agreement going, you have a good invoice going, or non-disclosure, non-compete, you have a good form going, hey, I'll let you know. Keep that. I like what you got there. Some people have sent me stuff, and I'm like, hey man, that's a good deal. Keep that. Some people send me stuff and it's generic, right? But it's okay to start off with. But I'll tell them, hey, this is good to start off with, but you might not want to use this long term, because I can see some holes in this. But it's okay in the beginning, right? So, and because that's what I started. I had an okay agreement. I had some okay flyers, right, in the beginning. And then as you grow, you change things up. You know, it's just part of business. But you guys have any questions for me? Anything that that I can answer here? Anything that you're dealing with? You know, are you in the fear stage? You're still in the fear stage. I know I had a lot of people in 2017 told me they were going to get it going in 2018, and for some reason they're not able to get it going. I don't know what's the hold up. I don't know what the problem is, but I want you guys to really implement this stuff, because the stuff that I'm telling you, you don't really have to buy into. Like, it takes nothing but time for you guys to go door to door, right? You might not hit it the first week, you might not hit it the second week, but eventually you will get a contract if you just stay at it, right? Trust me, it's not. I know I make it sound easier than it is, okay? And that's because I kind of know what to say when I go in the building. I know what to say when I pick up the phones, right? I know what the flyer should look like, which we're doing direct mail campaigns as I speak. I'm getting a pretty decent response back, so I'm gonna kind of keep doing it and try to up my response, send out more mailings and more like that, so I can up my response. But like I say, man, I'm not this cleaning guru type of god, and I have all the answers. I'd be lying to you if I told you that, okay? But I do know, without a shadow of a doubt, if you stay at it, stay focused, stay consistent, stay persistent, believe in yourself, keep the faith, don't listen to the naysayers, right? And follow your goals, follow whatever your dream is. I do know that you could become an ultimate success with this commercial and residential stuff. Whether you're doing power washing, same thing, man. Whether you're doing window cleaning, same thing. Stay consistent. You'll be able to pick up more window cleaning jobs than ever before, okay? But you have to stay consistent. You have to stay at it. Yeah, it's getting hot outside. It's hot outside. You have to go through that. You have to go through that. I tell people all the time, the hot weather is like the best weather for me. I'd rather be in the hot weather going to solicit for contracts and relax in the fall and winter season, than to like really have to climb over snow, at least in my region, right? The Midwest, you gotta get really cold and real snowy, right? And it's sometimes a hassle, you know, getting in. Sometimes the business don't even open up on time, and you know, it's a lot of stuff, right? But if you can, guys, if I can help you guys make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, would you be willing to spend a little time with me on the phone, on a coaching call, or whatever, come to a seminar? Ultimately, I'm eventually start doing seminars. I just want to build my following up. People ask me to do seminars all the time. I'm at like 17K. If you guys can help me get my following up to a significant base, then I would start doing seminars and meet and greets and things like that. But I want to get a little bigger than I am, okay? But again, if I can help you make 5, 10, 15 grand, right, throughout the course of the summer, just on the coaching, giving you little things to do this, do that, would you be willing to pay $100 for coaching, right? If I can help you make at least 5 grand. right? Again, what I'm saying is common sense. It's just not always common practice. That's all, right? What I'm saying is common sense. It's just not always common practice. So sometimes I have to kind of push you guys out there. Like, let's take Tyreek, one of my favorite stories. A guy, he's in the army. He's running his business against the code, so to speak. I'm sorry, Tyreek, if I'm putting you out there. I know you watch my videos, but the army doesn't want him doing this. He's supposed to solely focus on the army, and I've helped him get jobs in the last 30 days, right? The last 30 days. See, Tyreek, he bought my paperwork, my whole shot. He's good for the entire year. He bought my yearly unlimited coaching for the year. So whenever he called me, he has my direct number. Whenever he called me, I pick up, right? Because I don't know what he's got to say. I just try to pick up, and if I can't, I have my assistant handle him differently because he's paid his money, right? So I want, if he have a contract, I essentially want to help him get in this deal, right? So in the last 30 days, I helped Tyreek get into a contract. He called me, man. I swear to God, I can't make this up. If he was on this live, he'd tell you. He damn near cried because he didn't believe that he could get these contracts because it took him so long. I was dealing with him last year in 2017, right? And Tyreek, keep going. Tyreek, I place calls. Tyreek, how's business? Fabio, it's not going. Keep going, Tyreek, keep going. I tell Tyreek, you got 60 days to report to me and give me some good feedback or we're going to have a problem. Like, that's how I deal with him. How many YouTubers do you know that's going to call you, that's not selling you something, that's telling you, that's checking on you, saying, hey, dude, how are you? Hey, sweetie, how are you? Like, I got another, lady, what's her name? I just texted her the other day. Let me give her a shout out here. Let me look on my other phone. I just texted her the other day, just asked her, let me see, what's her name here? Asked her, she's coming right along. What's her name? Her name is Andrea. I don't know her YouTube, the name should go on her handle. But Andrea, I texted her the other day, how's everything going, Andrea? And those are the type of things that, let me see, when I watch your videos, I get very excited, but I can't drive the fear I feel. That's why you have to talk to me personally. Sometimes people can watch my videos and they get very excited, very enthusiastic about it. And then the minute I say, hello, Carmina, this is Fabio with Hollywood Janitorial or official Fabio Hart on YouTube. Oh my God. And then they kind of go into that, and then I'm able to talk to them and pinpoint, well, what's going on, Carmina? What's happening with your business? Where your focus now? Where was your focus last week? How can we shift your focus from fear of failure to being able to become a success? What are you doing wrong? What have you done in the past? These are the type of questions that I ask, not only on the coaching call, but when I'm doing some follow-ups, right? And I'm giving you guys these stories because stories sell, right? And it's the truth. Like, these people are some of the most amazing people in the world, and they thought they wouldn't be able to get a contract. And then they get to talking to me and get motivated, and I put them out there and I tell them, hey, you can do it. No one did that to Fabio Hart. And I utilized YouTube in the very beginning, right? I did the same thing you guys did. It wasn't as many as me, and then damn sure what me out there. I think I'm the only one that's like this, right? Because I give you real world. I don't try to I try to give it from the broad into from a narrow passage. A lot of guys give it to you from a narrow thinking you kind of got to guess what they're doing. Mine go to 2 hours, 3 hour videos, right? I'm trying to break it down. I'm trying to answer everybody. The emails get crazy. I got backed up in emails. I'm sorry, some emails that I haven't personally been able to call yet because I'm so backed up. I get so many emails, and that's, nationwide and domestically and internationally, to be honest. I get calls from Australia and this, and so I'm telling you guys this because I want you to be motivated. I'm not trying to boast. It may sound like that, but I know what I know, and I do know that. Hi, Fabio. Thanks for the valuable information. I will be contacting you very soon. Not a problem, Shona. Make sure you contact me. And I'll share insight. I'll take a look at what you have. I'll try to pinpoint you in the right direction. If you have a contract, you want me to take a look at it, just email it. You have a flyer, you want me to take a look at it. Now, I can't promise you just as soon as you email it and my assistant give it to me, then I'm going to call you right away, but I will call you because I get so many emails, right? So that's what I'm here to, talk about because again, I understand this stuff, right? I've been in a situation. 2012 wasn't, my phone is just vibrating like crazy. Uh, uh, 2012 wasn't too far off, right? And I've been able to turn, it's just so amazing. I've been able to turn this thing around where it took me 60 days just to get one contract, and I got subscribers running rings around me, right? They're getting contracts in the first 30 days watching my videos. Like I say, a lot of this stuff is common sense. It's just not commonly practiced. And as you practice this, you become more equipped with it. You will know how to navigate. You'll know how to deal with it more. Okay? Whether it's the phone calls, some people say, Fabio, I absolutely hate cold calling, but you have to do it as part of it. It's part of it. Either you're going to do it or you're going to pay somebody to do it for you. But it's just part of what you have to do, right? No one likes to get hung up on. No one likes to hear the word no, right? But if we heard yes every single time we picked up the phone or every time we knocked the door, we probably wouldn't appreciate that yes as we do after hearing 500 yeses, and then we finally get to two or three, I'm sorry, 500 no's, and then we get to two or three yeses, right? So we take more pride in that yes that we get. Yes, we will hire you. Yes, we want your cleaning company. Like I told you about Tyreek, man, I was talking to that guy last week, right? That guy spent the fortune when he paid for the entire year coaching with me once again. And like I said, he called me, Fabio, what am I doing wrong? He started drifting. He said, man, I'm about to throw the rag. I said, you better not throw the rag in and you didn't pay me all of this money. What the hell are you going to do? Man, it's not, I'm not picking up contracts. I'm just going to, he's going to be over the road driver because he's almost done to be out of the army, right? I think he has 2 more months, and then he's done with that unless he reassign himself or whatever the word for it is, right? Unless he redo it, and then he'd be up. He got another contract with him, but he said after this contract that he wasn't going to go back. He's going to work full flesh, but he got a contract in the last 30 days. I helped him get a contract, just talking to him. But he was going to throw the. I say, dude, you paid me like $1,200, man. You paid me this and you're going to give up. You bought all of this paperwork from me. You're in the lead generation program. We're making these calls for you, right? I'm helping him. He give me a number. Dude, can you close this? I can close a call for him. Give me the number right here. I say, well, just say you got to talk this over with your business partner. I do things like this because I want him to win. I didn't say, dude, I'm going to help you do this, but you got to give me 5%. I say, what's the number? Okay, who is the contact person? How did you meet this person? Oh, I went door to door, this and this. Hello, yes, yes, I'm part of, and I say his business name, and I just want to make sure I get clarification on this. I go into the call with all the details that he give me, and I get the contract for him, or I help him wherever the technicality is, or whatever, right? I help him. No one did that for me, and they damn sure didn't do it for free if they were going to do it for me. But again, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will do what it takes to become successful. If you want it as bad as you want to breathe, you will do what it takes to become successful. Okay? So again, a lot of us, man, we take more time in what we don't have. I don't have money, or what we can't do. I don't have a car, or what we can afford. I can't afford that because the money is scarce right now. Well, dude, how am I going to do that and I still got to pay my rent and pay my car note and this? You make a way. You make a way, because we make more ways for bullshit than we ever do for shit that we're supposed to do. We make more ways to complete bullshit than we ever do for things that we're supposed to do. Like, I mean, that's mind-boggling to me. We'll make a lot of, for shenanigans, Facebook and all of this, Instagram. So we go and watch everybody else's success. We'll see what everybody else doing. But then we don't take the initiative and we don't put in the action ourselves and become successful ourselves, right? I was at the gym today and I was talking to somebody, and what they were telling me, they were saying that they were asking me what I do and this and this, and I say, cleaning business. And they were telling me their idea. So their idea, what they wanted to do, they showed me the website where they can get name brand shoes, tennis shoes, Nikes, Jordans, and this and this and this at a wholesale price. how they get their shoes. Because every day she come in, she has their new shoes she has on, but she get her shoes at a wholesale price, and she doesn't even go to Foot Locker and this and this and that, right? So she was saying that, you know what, I was thinking about doing this business, but I'm not sure how I should do it. So I gave her a few pointers right there at the gym. I gave her a few ideas and say, well, what you can do is you don't even have to order this shoe first, right? You can utilize the site, take the shoe, put it on a flyer in this area. You can put it on the bus lines, you can put it out, get familiar. You call yourself the shoe diva, the the shoe princess, whatever name. Give yourself a name that stick out, so when people think of tennis shoes in the city of Detroit, right, they'll think of you, right? So you work in a gym, you work out in a gym full of men and full of women. I'm here, other guys is here, other women is here, right? You can leave your cards here. So people might need new training sneakers, right? So I was giving her different ideas, right? Different approaches, right? And just that quick light bulb went off. She said, hey, do you have a number? Give her my number. She go out and she just ecstatic about this idea, right? So I'm gonna get it off the ground tomorrow. I don't know where to start. I say, don't clutter yourself with it. Take it one step at a time, right? Because sometimes this is what happens. We get so excited that our mind get clouded and we don't know where to start. I say, just take your time. I know I got her totally excited. So I gave her some ideas on how she can flip these shoes. She getting them at 20 bucks, right? 100 pair of dollar shoes, she can at 20 bucks, 29 bucks. I say, well, you can mark this up at 100, which is still lower what they're going to charge at Foot Action, at Foot Locker, and you can make yourself an absolute fortune. So not only are you doing it, you're getting it at a low price, but you're still selling it lower than what the stores are selling, which create a great profit margin for you, right? And then when people think of sneakers, they're going to think, I can call this lady and this lady can help me out. Like, she can get this shoe or get the sneaker, or I can see if she can get it or if it's available, right? Before I go to the store, I can contact her first to see if I can get it for a cheaper dollar amount before I even go to Foot Action or Foot Locker, right? So I got her totally excited, but then that's what happens when you talk to me. So motivated, I can get you amped up, I can get you excited, and then you get home and then you get complacent, right? Or you totally forget, or you lose your mojo, you lose your steam. So I didn't want her to do that. So again, like I told her, gave her those ideas, and I didn't charge her a coaching fee or anything. It's just, when I know business, if I was selling sneakers, that's the way that I told her to do it. It's the way that I would start, right? Because I know business. That's just my mind. That's just, my mind is always working like that. Same way with these ideas that I give you guys here on YouTube. No, I didn't get off a topic. This is more motivational part. I always kind of do a motivational Sunday video. I guess I'm gonna make this a 2-part video, but I do want you guys to win. If you need to contact me for whatever reason, right? You got a few questions, you're scared to ask your questions right here on live, you'd rather email it to me, feel free. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART@gmail.com. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. Okay. And I'll take a look at what you need me to take a look at, or answer what you need me to answer. Okay, but the ball is in your court. You have to take the initiative. I can't make you email me, right? So I'm making my company do north of $250,000 annually in revenue. Okay, so I'm okay, right? I'm gonna have a great Christmas and my birthday coming up. I'm a Virgo. Shout out to all my V's, my Virgos. August 31st, my birthday, by the way, for those that care. But I'm gonna have a great birthday. I'm gonna have a great summer and do certain things, and not just be working my ass off. Again, you guys have to put your mind in that mindset to be entrepreneurial and elevate and take it to the next level. You don't want to be necessarily an employee within your business ultimately, right? Because then it's self-employed. When you start a business, I think more people start businesses. I think most people, start businesses because they want to create freedom, right? They want to have that time. They want to make more money. They want to be able to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, where they want to do it, if they want to do it, right? That's why a lot of people start businesses. They want to be able to build something for their families, right? And you'll think like, man, when somebody get to telling you, you'll be like, man, you can't tell me shit as far as I done came. That's what the likes of Tyreek can. I got Joel, one of my subscribers, Joel, that I remember on here, and Share Pop that's on here, and I think her name is Bree or Bria on here that I speak to, and Andrea, people on. Don't want to actually live. You could do 1 hour is fine, because I can cover so much. So I'm not gonna even say you need 2 or 3 hours just to, you know, charge you or anything. Like I'm froze here. I don't know what happened. Do you guys have any questions? I would love to go ahead and answer them while I still have you here. If not, I'll go ahead and close it out. Carmina, when I watch your videos, I get very excited, but then I can't drive the fear I feel. Yeah, like I said, Carmina, when you talk to me, it's gonna be a different. Dude, no. Oh, can you hear me now? Uh, no, no, it's probably YouTube actually. I don't know. They generally don't do this, and I don't went longer than this before. Can you guys hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, great. But like I said, you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to charm a man. I just want to make sure if you're waiting for me to get off live so you can email your questions, you know, now it's okay. Okay, awesome. If you're waiting for me to get off live so you can email me your questions. I also get asked, do I sell the script that I use for my lead generation for my, I don't. But if you have a script or something, I can kind of help you pinpoint that. Just send whatever you have over to me. If you want to discuss anything, you need coaching, just put coaching in the subject line. Whatever. If you need help closing something, I can kind of point you in the directions. If you need help with charging and the numbers, or you don't know what to charge, and if you got the information, just email me right now. Don't even hold on to it. Just if you know you got to turn a bid in, and you got the information, but you're not sure what you should charge, uh, go ahead and email me. Email me. I'll give you a phone call, talk about your deal, the square footage, ask you certain information, and kind of help you with the numbers. Kevin, I helped him the same way just recently. You know, he got his deal. He's local to me. He's on here. His name Kevin Sharp, or something like that. Yeah, he got his deal. Call me, say Fabio, man, I'm kind of stuck with this number stuff. I got to put the numbers in. I got to have it in today before the end of the day, or I think tomorrow morning or something. He had the numbers in. Helped him with the numbers. He got the deal, right? So, so the ball is in your guys' court. You know, um, if you need help with, you know, like I say, when people ask me about doing leads over the phone, the best way I could tell you to do is just continue to call. Okay, continue to call, continue to make those calls. It's going to take a lot of calls, but continue to make those calls. I couldn't know why it's different for me. Um, we'll talk about it. I'll get to the root. I'll get to the root cause of it, Carmina. I think that uh, sure, I'm positive that you'll feel like, you know what, I can do this. The sound is gone. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut it short from here. And as I always say, the only person that can ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care.